Hi everyone, Dragon here, and I'm sorry, but I don't really have the best of intros to get started, so, yeah. So, this is, the equivalent to, Franken Lab, and, basically, it's the Halloween thing, it's the, I think it's Haunted House in Franken Labs. My mind is kind of like in the dumpster right now because it's 3 a.m. But this is just kind of like I guess a warm up, and just to prove that, hey, look, even though I hate Cobra, I mean, I still know how to use Cobra. Well, I mean, I'd say I know how to use Cobra, but I'm literally using the carbon copy that every single fucking Cobra player plays, which is Tac Mortar, because it's good, but it's not the best. So yeah. So for a while I thought, oh, they're gonna just go NFE. Like, they had NG and they were really struggling with NG because NG really isn't good against grouped unless you had two NGs that have faster engineering and 9-inch nails, and even then you might actually struggle, especially if they're going balloon eco like I was, for instance. Like, you will really struggle with NG. Right here they try to do space black balloons, like very few actually leak because Swamp is actually a really good tac map. This is actually a really popular tac mortar, ninja tac mortar map, believe it or not. But with me balloon ecoing, look at their farms. Yeah. They don't really have the best of farms, but they do get up a balloon trap, and yeah. Right here, I actually misclick. I try to send leads, but, you know.
I love this song.
Yeah, they just BM me, so it's like, okay. And I haven't even done the Cobra gimmick yet. Here's where the Cobra...
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, here's where the Cobra gimmick starts to kick in. Like, it's so hard to really hide Cobras in Swamp. I mean, I really could, like, put them, like, right here, or, up here in the corner, or, fuck, even where my mortar is. And, yeah, right here is, the killing... No, actually, no, this isn't the killing blow. They Jugger Lanch, but they did take a fair little bit of lives, and give me a pretty sizable Salted Wounds. I haven't used Salted Wounds in a while because Salted Wounds has become very, very predictable. This is where they die. So, because I made them get a lot of forced eco, they did not have enough to get Ground Zero. And yeah.
Excuse me, I'm fucking out of here right now.
They rage quitted after their defeat. Like, yeah, they weren't happy at all. And honestly, I don't blame them. Cobra is pretty bullshit to deal with, but at the same time, very solemnly do I actually try to use Cobra just to meme. Okay? Like, very, very solemnly will I use Cobra. I will use Cobra only for mostly misdirection over offensive push, because I'd rather have you deal with more crap than me deal with the ability to send balloons early. Because having to deal with more things puts more pressure and more things to be forced to upgrade when you have like a bajillion Moabs and BFBs coming at you with misdirection. That and balloon adjust, of course. But anyways, moving on to our next opponent. Okay, so remember that Cobra match? Yeah, that was yesterday. Well, not yesterday. It was 2 days ago. This match was yesterday. Actually, no, this match was this morning. Okay. And from this match onwards, there's going to be a running trend. And, yeah.
Again.
More Cobras! This is not intentional by any means. I like I said, I don't have the third eye. I can't predict what people have. But yeah, this was like this morning, and I was just getting warmed up. There was like 50 minutes of Bonanza left in White Wastelands, when it was actually White Wastelands, because you have the Halloween arena, so then you have the club arena, and they try to balloon boost pinks, and I'm like, bruh, I have boats. The boats are popping the pinks, even if it's boosted. You can try, but it's not happening. And you'll notice a theme here. My opponent kept trying to get more Cobras than actual defense. And this is their significant downfall. Because they had so many Cobras, and trying to upgrade all of them, they had 0 cash, even with the wired funds. 0. Because they kept funneling it right into Cobras. Because I was anticipating, you know, balloon adjust nightmare. Because I was going, but Wiz. But Wiz will fucking, they'll die. But, yeah. Yeah.
It's what she deserves.
Sorry, but, they wanted a rematch, by the way. They wanted to rematch, and I was just like, nah. Nah. I'm not doing your Cobra bullshit, man. If you're gonna come in here thinking you're gonna do Cobras and forget it's something as simple as lead detection, and you had the wizard, it's just that you had it so late, it didn't matter because you had 0 money. So yeah, if you're gonna go Cobra strategy, don't put all your defenses in Cobras because they're garbage and they can't see camo. But anyways, moving on to our next opponent. Okay, so I'm showing this match only because of 2 reasons. One, gives me a little bit of time to, you know, talk with probably the 3 or 4 people that'll probably watch this. But basically, this opponent was actually really fearful of facing against me. Like, really fearful. And I don't know why. Like, they were trying to really over-defend throughout the entire time. But when I actually rushed, they just kind of left. Anyways, so, yeah, they also farm really late, which is also their downfall. Because they try to catch up, but... yeah. Anyways, so, Halloween's around the corner. What do you guys have in mind for Halloween? I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do with, you know, COVID and stuff, so... what y'all planning for, Halloween? Like, got any spooky movies that you're gonna watch? Maybe... go to a grocery store and get like a 5-pound bag of candy. I don't know. Me, I honestly don't know. I probably will just sit back, probably watch Nightmare Before Christmas, maybe, because it's a good Halloween movie. Maybe a couple more movies out there that I want to try watching that's new. Annabellum is actually one of them. That's actually a really good movie that I think me and my mother will actually watch, because we both like horror movies, believe it or not. Give us a nice sense of spooks. So, yeah. So, this is the part where, they kind of leave. So, yeah.
Bitch, I can't see!
Bitch, snap out of it.
Bitch, I can't fucking see!
And about here...
Excuse me, I'm fucking out of here right now.
Yeah, they rage quit right here. And, yeah. This is why, even though you're fighting, and the whole reason why I'm even showing this is because this will relate to a friend of mine, PNA Gaming. He was actually very terrified of fighting against me when he did his streams over on Twitch. He was really intimidated, but I mean, I imagine he's still probably, like, you know, intimidated, but not have to, you know, switch in between screens and change a pair of pants because, you know, they might have a little bit of poop in them. But, yeah. Just because you're fighting against someone who's skilled doesn't necessarily mean that they... I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not skilled. I'm just saying you shouldn't have to be intimidated because they're still a person. Okay? Sure, they may not be the nicest person even if they are pro ranked. Okay? Most of the pro ranks I've seen that I've fought here, and the past videos can prove it. I mean, most of them are pro ranked. There are quite a handful of noobs that were toxic, but I mean, there were a handful of, you know, pro ranks that were actually really toxic. And yeah, just because they're pro rank doesn't mean you have to be intimidated. I mean, like, sure, oh god, not another grinder, but I mean, you don't have to be so fearful that you just kind of throw the match. Like, that kind of, like, you know, is like raising the white flag. Like, you could have just... There is so many ways that, like, you could, like, not be fearful, and it's all about confidence, really. But anyways, I digress, and with that, I'll be moving on to our next opponent. Okay, so, you may have been noticing, why does my opponent not have a super monkey? And you're right. Why does my opponent not have a super monkey? Well, that would be the fault of what we like to call RNGesus, who blesses those and curses others. In this case, we both got cursed. My fourth was glue, which really wasn't helping, and trust me, I got an even a worse fourth, which I'll be showing here later, probably the next match. And yeah, I do my setup for glue, and this is how I usually set up glue, as a little hint. I have the glue closest to the track set on last, and the other one set on first. The reason why I do that is because it's to make sure all the balloons coming in are glued. So that way you don't have to deal with, you know, balloons leaking and not being glued and you start leaking. It's basically to minimize leaks. Like, yeah, I could probably get glue hose, but I mean, that just kind of defeats the purpose of what glue is really meant for, which is the monkey acid. Being able to pop them really fast because of the acid. Because apparently acid can, you know, eat through rubber. Even though fire can do that in probably half the time. But anyways, this is where I start leaking lives, and it's like, okay, I need to get acid. Because I'll start leaking lives a lot quicker with these faster balloons. So, the top ones, which is obscured by the scoreboard right here, they get acid, and I'm setting up camo detection because, you know, I kind of need camo detection. No, I didn't have enough for Sun God because, you know, glue is really not helpful. And right here, they were trying to do a Republic spam to try getting as many farms as possible, but, like, honestly, and this is just my personal preference, I really wish there was a way to where you can choose which farmer you get. Like, if you get Robo Farmer, be able to swap between the two, please. Like, it's so inconvenient for me, at least, to have Robo Farmer and have to be forced to use them when I don't want to use them because there's just not the best spot to put them in certain maps. But anyways, yeah, they basically factory spam. Right here is where I forced their first boost because they couldn't Phoenix and they had poor defenses. I mean, I could have probably done regen lead, but lead would get instant pop because of the Phoenix wizards, so yeah. This is where things also get real, this is where things start to escalate. This is where I start seeing their fourth, which was tack. And this is when I realized, oh no, they won't last past round 30 because of Zoma Gods. No matter how many my Phoenixes or Malice Storms they do, like, there's no stopping around 30 Zoma God, especially when I have DA. So right here, they do not just a single, like, grouped BFB, oh no, they do a BFB rush, but it's a spaced BFB rush. And I'm just like, bruh. I sit there and just micro it. So this entire time, I'm also getting up a temple up in the corner. I don't know if they knew that or not, but I was getting a temple, and I'm like, bruh, I can just, like, micro that. So, yeah, I kind of facepalm because I'm like, look, bud, you kind of, like, screwed yourself on that. Because now they have 0 income, and the only thing that's saving them for income is the factories. And what do they do? Yes.
Bye, have a great time.
They rage quit. Yup. And they rage quit because they couldn't do anything. They really couldn't. I mean, they probably could have sent, like, oh my gosh or something, but because they sent the space BFB rush, their income was 0. They could have sold the factories for BIAs, but their income would be severely crippled because of that BFB rush. Yeah. They were also, I believe, Silver Dart, single Silver Dart rank badge. Honestly, badge ranks don't really matter to me if it's, like, gold or gold diamond or higher. That's when I'm like, okay, this is a pro rank to me. Anything above the gold crown prestige is pro rank to me, okay? Because gold rank is like, to me, gold rank is like the high end of average. Like, you're just tipping the iceberg of being above average. Same goes for the gold dart badge, the global badge, not the prestige badge. Prestige badge, gold silver dart is like average, and then gold crown is like a little bit above average. But anyways, yeah, they wouldn't last as Oh My God Rush in the slightest, no matter how much they Maelstrom, Phoenixed, or Pirated, because I still had 1 DA left. That 1 DA wouldn't save them for the life of them with a Oh My God Rush. They would have lost to a space to Oh My God Rush. But anyways, that will do it for this match. Moving on to our next opponent. Okay, so this opponent was rather unique. This was the Gold Crown Prestige, like I was talking about. Okay, this was a Gold Crown Prestige player, and I believe they had, I want to say it was like either 6 mil or 3.6 mil. They had 6 in it, and it was like at least in the 100,000 place. Oh, I'm having paused. I'm dumb. Anyways, so yeah. Looking at their loadout, they clearly had a pretty solid Bonanza late game. They had a solid late game strategy, except for one major flaw. No camo detection. If they had camo shred, or I think it's actually camo purge, or track power, they probably could have, maybe have delayed the inevitable if they really tried. But things aren't looking too good in their favor because they have 0 towers that concede camo unless Temple is their option. And maybe absolute 0 the ice ability, but that would be like trying to ice stall an entire rush that's camo. So yeah. Right here I do force a lot on my opponent. They're also getting a factory in the corner, if you couldn't see. You can see the Republic right there, and right there they got the factory. So yeah, I basically forced a lot of stuff because I knew, it just clicked into me on what kind of, things that can work, because black balloons can't be popped by bomb, white balloons can't be popped by ice, and zebra can't be popped by neither one. They can't be frozen or exploded. In which case I send spaced, oh my god, spaced region zebras. Then I sent camo pinks, but I still have the regen button on. And the moment I send the camo pinks, They surrendered. They literally forfeited because they had no camo detection. They couldn't do shit. And yeah, they also rage left too because they got really upset that I kept forcing shit on them, and there was nothing that they could do to get temple in time because I sent the fastest possible balloon, which is pinks. Had I not rushed and kept going, I would have lost because ice bomb temples are actually really good at late game because you can ice stall and do enormous damage to Moab class balloons, specifically as my gods. It would go to at least round 60 and maybe even 65 or 70, and I would have lost because TAC really isn't that good of a sacrificial tower. Actually, it's not even a sacrificial tower in battles. It doesn't provide anything because you can just have the TT and Sun God and it do the blade shooty thing. But anyways, yeah, they really weren't happy about that. But yeah. Anyways, moving on to our next opponent. Remember how I said my fourth that was going to be really bad? That's even worse than glue. Well, here's the fourth that's even worse than glue. It's sniper. I got sniper. And sniper is so bad early game. You might as well just basically rely on track or forfeit because it is just not that good at pop power early game, especially if the opponent goes balloon eco. Especially if the opponent goes balloon eco, because then grouped balloons will be just ugh. So right here my opponent does what every greeter does. They waste their track powers on lightning bolt because oh no, pinks! Better do something about that. And yeah, it didn't do much. They had cash injection, which was odd to say the least. Rather unique, at least, because I don't remember ever having someone use cash injection. I've used cash injection before to try stopping eco choke. Right here was actually a, I guess, smart play on my opponent by sending yellows, but then they jam pack it just to, like, you know, add insult to injury, and it's like, bruh, why would you jam pack it knowing that I just placed a super monkey? So yeah, and then because they sent that rush, they couldn't get a BFB. Even the fact that they were upgrading shit somehow, I don't know what they were upgrading, but they were clearly upgrading something. But they just couldn't get that BIA. I don't know if they even could get BIA. I do get the factory, and I try to eco as much as I can. And yeah, right here was my opponent's downfall. Those glaive lords were the only thing that their camo detection can be. So I sent 3 spaced camo ceramics. And it was just enough to kill. They also rage left. A lot of my opponents actually kind of rage quitted or forfeited. They really weren't happy, and I was just like, what is even happening? Because, like, I never get opponents that rage quit, and I get them consecutively, like every single opponent since that Ghost of the Coast Cobra match, because I've shown them in order, okay? There was just constant rage quits. Constant. And just to prove that it's consecutive, just in case I get one of those skeptics says, I know there will be those skeptics. I usually cut this out because I just go to the next replay, so that way it's, you know, not wasting time. You don't have to sit there and be like, okay, is he gonna get to the next match or something? But look, it's like from the Cobra user here to here, all of them basically forfeited or rage quitted in some way. Like this one rage left, this one forfeited, Actually, no. This one forfeited. These two rage quitted. Okay. And this one rage left. Like, I don't even know what's going on. Alright, so this is the last opponent. I might as well just keep going. I don't know if they were salty at all. I don't remember. I guess I can show this anyway, because I'm certain someone will be like, oh, well, you didn't show this match in the recording, so might as well show it. I got in Dart Lane, which I guess is okay. It's not the best, per se, but it'll work. So, I'm not sure what my opponent was doing. Sending spaced blues, thinking that was gonna work. But, yeah. And then right here, they get cleansing foam, then they start sending grouped blues, and it's like, you should be farming. And then they try to send, but like, yeah, I don't even see it because 2 Dartlings is just that powerful. And then I was like, okay, well, a Republic in 2 forms is like not even remotely close to getting a factory, so I might as well just keep going. And then I'm like, hey buddy, you might want to start seeing your screen. Because they tried to send me balloons, and I'm like, buddy, you might want to see your screen. And yeah, they take a massive amount of damage. Because they were so focused on sending me balloons rather than, you know, farming or actually doing anything. So yeah. I also wouldn't recommend going to whatever site that is as their username. Because I can tell you right now, it is like 99% probably 1, a bot, and 2, probably a phishing link. Probably a phishing link indeed. And right here, I basically just send a rush, and I'm like, Balloon Trap is not gonna save you. And the Salt on the Wound, they try to get a sub upgrade, but they upgrade to the wrong side. They get Ballistic Missile over Reactor. And yeah, they also rage left too. And when I mean rage left, I mean they little loading icon of next to their icon. Okay, it will be like that for like a minute, and then I'll go stationary. It just kept going, like they literally left. Okay, they got so mad that they literally left. Like they were pissed. And it goes to show that, I mean, I don't have to, you know, flaunt around like, hey, look at me, I'm all skill and sparkles and stuff. No. I'm just an average person, just an average guy, playing a game, and people get mad that they lost. Or they get mad that something didn't go according to plan, so now they have to figure out what the hell to do now because, you know, my opponent is being a jerk, in quotations, for not letting me follow through with the plan. Or I basically have like the third eye in the 5th dimension and being able to predict shit because I've seen it so many times, and they just get really mad because it's like, gee, I wonder why they're mad when I've seen this gimmick before, I've seen their stick, I've seen how it works. You can't fool me. Sorry. You don't get the Fool Us award. But anyways, yeah, that will do it all for now. I hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and comment if you liked the video. And until then, have a good one, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.